got about 5 minutes here. I want to talk about UConn Seton Hall because that was one of the most entertaining games that I have seen this season. Tough, physical, throwback, Big East basketball. Went to overtime. Unfortunately, my Huskies could not pull it out in the end, but Seton Hall, you got to give them credit. Kadari Richmond had 27 points, unstoppable in the second half. Bryce Aiken finished with 22, 7 dimes, made huge plays down the stretch. T.O., you are a noted hashtag Big East guy. What is your takeaway from that performance?
If nepotism didn't exist, Kadari Richmond be starting at Syracuse right now. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, that guy, he's talented. I'm happy he finally got going. He's not a big outside shooter. But, man, whenever he gets in there and puts his body on guys, he's got size to finish over top. It looks like it hurts to play in the Big East. Like, every cut is physical, every rebound, there's elbows everywhere. There's true size on the inside. And, guys, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse saying it again. But Bryce Aiken is so much fun to watch. I mean, quick, can shoot the ball, crafty with the ball. I mean, 2 high-level teams. I want 9 Big East teams in the NCAA tournament, Goodman. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Listen, we got toughness up here in the Northeast. And,
No.
The Big East is what it is, and it's much better than anybody thought this year. This Seton Hall perimeter trio, I wouldn't want to play them. I mean, again, and they're still not back. They're not all the way back from missing Samuel and Big Ike. So I think ultimately you look at Richmond as a guy that if he can bring it every single day, and I talked to Kevin Willard about it last week when I saw him in Providence, and he said, listen, might not be the greatest practice guy ever, but like he does when the game's on the line, he plays hard, and you could see that today. And Roden's still not all the way back too. He missed some time. They had a long pause. This was a big win for Seton Hall. They needed this one because after losing a couple coming off that pause, they beat Butler to kind of get it back right. But this was one they needed. And UConn now, they're kind of further back than Seton Hall in terms of coming back from that pause. It takes a while. It does.
It does. And I'm obviously joking about 9 Big East teams in the tournament. But Jared Roden, even though he hasn't gotten back to what he was, still played 41 minutes and had a huge defensive possession at the end of the game.
Yeah, huge defensive possession. And he made some really, really tough shots in the second half. And to me, that was the biggest takeaway with Seton Hall was that Willard kind of scrapped running stuff. And just kind of went like, okay, Kadari, you go. Okay, Bryce, you go. Okay, Jared, you go make a play. And he had 3 dudes that got it going in the second half. And to me, that was the biggest takeaway is that those guys won their individual battles, 1 possession more than UConn was able to win individual battles. And I hope I'm speaking to like UConn fans directly when I say this. Like, you got nothing to worry about. I feel better about UConn after watching that performance than I did after watching any other game that they played this season, except for maybe Auburn, right?
Because like Sanogo back.
They got Sanogo back. They went on the road in a tough environment against I'm going to say it, a top 15 to 20 team in college basketball in Seton Hall on the road, coming off of a COVID pause. They got punched in the face like 4, 5, 6 times in the second half, and they came back and they hit big shots. They were making their threes. They ran good stuff. They found a way to get Sanogo touches. They found a way to get use his threat to create other offense. RJ Cole had it going, and they're going to be fine. Like, I know that you're frustrated. I know that all of fans are frustrated. I'm frustrated with all of these close 1 possession losses. Like, it's not fun losing close games, but I mean, look, they lost by 3 in overtime to Seton Hall. They lost by 4 to Providence. They lost by 3 at West Virginia, and they lost by 4 in what was essentially a 1 possession game against Michigan State.
You want to go through
5 possessions go a different way. Like, they're undefeated right now. And we feel very, very good about where this team
and they have 2 very spurtable. They have spurtability. 2 guys coming off the bench. I think Tyler Pauly could be somebody for UConn that could come in, help space the floor, be switchable on defense. When he's consistent, I think he's a better shooter than 30%. He just hasn't shot the ball well this year.
Yeah, he did not. Like, he went through a long stretch in December where the balls just weren't going. And the issue, T.O., and I've said this over and over again.
They miss a wing scorer. You saw it at the end of the game today. Tyrese Martin, like, they're trying to put the ball in his hands to make a play off the bounce. They missed that, and obviously we know who that was, right? They didn't expect to lose Book Night maybe after a year, but listen, that's what they miss.
Jordan Hawkins is going to be that guy next year, not this year, next year.
He needs to spend an entire offseason in the weight room. Like the biggest issue he has, he's just not physical. Like he looks like a freshman out there, right? Like,
he does.
You see the shot making ability, you know what he has, but like he just cannot get anywhere because he tries to drive by someone, gets a Big East shoulder right to his chest, and he goes flying. It is